I'm often asked about the paints I put out on my palette and the difference between opaque and transparent colors. Here's an excerpt from one of our shows explaining a little bit about that. For my paints, I have titanium white, alizarin crimson, Indian yellow, and ultramarine blue. These are three transparent colors. Now, people sometimes ask me how you can tell, how can you tell they're transparent? So here's how you can tell the difference. The easiest way is to look on the tube, but not all tubes state that, and sometimes it's not so easy to find. So to put it to the test, I've made a black stripe here. I've put out a number of colors here, and this one here is my Indian yellow, which is a transparent color. When I paint this over the black stripe, you can readily see that the black shows through. So this is a transparent color. Now let me wash out my brush. I'll pick up some cadmium yellow light. This is an opaque color. And then when I put this yellow over this black stripe, you can see that it covers fairly well. There's quite a difference between those two. So this is a transparent color and this is an opaque color. Now just because this is Indian yellow and this is transparent doesn't mean that all Indian yellows will be transparent. I've seen some manufacturers that manufacture an Indian yellow that's very, very opaque. It's usually the less expensive brands. Here I'll take some ultramarine blue. We'll do the same thing here. This is pretty hard to see because those are both dark colors, but the black does show through. Now on my cerulean blue, you can see that's very opaque. It definitely covers. And we'll go down the line. We'll pick up alizarin crimson, transparent color. And as we paint that over here, you can see that the black shows through. It doesn't cover very well. So that's a transparent color. Now I'll pick up some of my cadmium red light, and it's a very opaque color. So we have transparent, opaque, and so on. Now I find by starting out my paintings with the transparent colors, I can get much nicer, richer, and darker colors than using any of my opaque colors. Now if you find your painting is getting chalky or muddy, especially when using glazes, most likely it's because you're using opaque colors. So when using glazes, it's most important to use the transparent colors. Here I'll pick up some white. Of course, this is titanium white, and of course it covers very well. But there are other whites too. There's zinc white, and now that's a transparent white. I use that very seldom, but it would be good in some instances, like if you're doing a painting that maybe requires some fog or mist or smoke or something like that. So they all do have their uses. I'll put one other color out here, and this is yellow ochre. And it is quite close in value to the Indian yellow, but very opaque as opposed to the Indian yellow. These are really translucent colors. They're not transparent, but artists generally call them transparent. Transparent would be something like glass where you could see totally through it. Translucent has some color to it. So as a rule of thumb, I generally start out my paintings using transparent colors, and they generally work good for a foundation of the painting. I may put out some opaque colors later, especially a yellow, to get some vivid greens. But I'm going to start with these three transparent colors because they'll give me a lot of nice, dark, rich tones.